commemorate Black History Month, we are proud to share this video interview with Todd Greene, Executive Director of WorkRise at the Urban Institute, where he also serves as an Institute Fellow. Previously, he was Executive Director of the Atlanta University Center Consortium. For more than a decade, he served with the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta as Vice President in the Research Division, leading the Economic and Community Development Department. Additionally, he was a member of the general faculty at the Georgia Institute of Technology. Todd earned his master's degrees from Washington University and Georgia State University. He is the chair of the Heldrick Center for Workforce Development's National Advisory Board. Todd, prior to your current position at WorkRise, you were executive director of the Atlanta University Center Consortium, the world's oldest and largest consortium of historically Black colleges and universities. Please tell me about your work at the consortium, as well as your current work at WorkRise.
Yes, at the Atlanta University Center, I had the privilege of working with four incredible presidents to help them to fulfill their vision of what these institutions could be like together. So certainly there are four institutions which comprise the AU Center, two undergraduate institutions, a comprehensive university, and a medical school. So the key question was, how do we bring the assets and the tremendous histories that these institutions have, and what can be created beyond what any institution might be able to create on its own? So my work centered in three areas. One was around academics and research and student success. So that included aspects around how could we grow our research enterprise so that our work has more impact and opportunity to influence society? How can we create even more amazing educational opportunities for our students that we might not have been able to create individually? And launching an aspect, for example, a program around data science was one program that I was able to get moving. And then also from career services and how might our students access careers and experiences that might be more informative as they plan their journey and present more options. Another aspect that I worked on there was campus operations around procurement and how could the schools be positioned to be anchor institutions for the community. And then lastly, economic and community development. And that is, what is our place in Atlanta and in Georgia and really in the world? And how can we leverage the AU Center as an important aspect of economic development activity? At WorkRise, I have the honor of leading a team that's really focused on low-wage workers. So specifically, what kinds of and how do we improve the outcomes that this population has really unfortunately encountered very negative outcomes even before the pandemic in terms of being stuck in low-wage positions, not having autonomy or voices to express their perspectives, et cetera. So WorkRise is really a research to action platform that's focused on surfacing some of the most important questions and solutions that move the prospects for low-wage workers. Of course, rooted in research, it's an opportunity to bring together a multi-stakeholder platform to address these issues, including worker advocates and employers themselves, practitioners and policymakers, all together to really help to utilize evidence to further the discussion and craft solutions that can impact low-wage workers as we think about the contributions to the economy in a bit of a different way.
What has been your greatest achievement in your career thus far? What helped you to succeed?
Well, that's a great question, and I'm hoping that there'll be further achievements that will occur. But one particular aspect that I'd like to mention is having an opportunity to lead the Federal Reserve System's work on workforce development. When this idea first came up following the Great Recession, when we realized that there were really challenges and frictions in how employers were able to access workers, and workers having challenges in terms of understanding how they can access training and the skills that would be necessary to improve their lives, this opportunity to pivot and to enhance the community development function, which had heretofore been focused on other types of issues and not workforce development. So to be able to work with people like Carver and Horn and the Holdridge Center and others to help educate ourselves at the Federal Reserve and actually lean into this issue. I'm very proud to say that at the Federal Reserve, even though it's been several years since I've left, that work continues and is a major component of the Federal Reserve agenda. And now the Federal Reserve is viewed as a leader in thought leadership around workforce development and workforce in general.
What does Black History Month mean to you?
Black History Month is an opportunity to reflect on the sacrifices and the accomplishments that African Americans have made, not only to the Black community, but to our nation and to the world. It's important that we take the time to appreciate, reflect, ponder, consider all of these aspects of these individuals and recognize them, because most often they were marginalized and didn't get the due that they would have received if the world had been a more fair place. And even though this is a month and it's the shortest month of the year, I think that it's just another opportunity for us to celebrate what these heroes have meant for us, but really also to think about how we can create our own history. So we are history makers and change makers. So I'd like to think of it as, what will the history book write about me, and what Black history am I creating, not only for Black Americans, but for Americans and for society.
Which Black public figures, either living or deceased, inspire you the most?
Well, I'll say that that is a woman by the name of Mahalia Jackson. She was from the South, and she became a world famous gospel singer. And of course, she was known by her talent for that. But one of the things that perhaps is not often thought about when we ascribe all of the tremendous accolades to her is that she was also a businesswoman. She was an entrepreneur. She was an overcomer. She was a person who also was about social change. And her practices might have been a little bit different than others, and maybe primarily she used her song as that instrument and that modality for moving these things forward. But to think about her accomplishments in the face of being a Black woman from the South in a white man's world is certainly worth speaking about. But the reason that I selected her is that she has a song that I think is just so important to me, and I think it should also be important to the world. And that is, it's entitled, "I Want to Live the Life I Sing About in My Song." So we think about how profound those words are, actually being able to just not only talk about some of these issues, but also live that. So what does that mean to live the life that we all sing about in our songs, our daily works, and how we think about our impact on the world? And so I certainly appreciate those words that she left for us, and words that I think would make the world a better place if we all lived by them.
Todd, what can people do to celebrate Black History Month?
Well, people can do a couple of things to celebrate Black History Month, and the two that I'll leave with you is take a moment to learn something new about Black history, whether or not it's someone like W.E.B. Du Bois, who is certainly a famous person in Black history, but very few people actually realize that he was one of the first Black economists, even though he wasn't given that title. But the work that he did certainly, and the studying, the schoolwork that he achieved certainly would necessarily put him within that rank. But also maybe there's some other people in Black history who are perhaps unsung that we don't know very much about. So there are opportunities for us to continue that learning. And then the second aspect that I would just mention is just reflect upon these individuals and their accomplishments, and reflect what that means in our own life. So how do we internalize that, and what lessons are we going to learn from these individuals, and how can we be made better as a result of what it is they accomplished?
Thank you for watching this interview with Todd Greene. Be sure to check out our other interviews with Jimmy Green and Oliver Quinn.